Triyuvane Manyo Sharanya Karo Radha Krishna Padaravinda Sajana Nandina Mata Ko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyago Sri Jiva Gopalako.
Reading from the Nectar of Devotion, the complete science of the English translation. The six Goswamis of Vrindavan. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principle for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth of taking shelter of, because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So, continue reading from the chapter 25, Devotees of Krishna. The next subtitle is Eternal Perfection. Persons who have achieved eternal, blissful life exactly on the level of Sri Krishna and who are able to attract Lord Krishna by their transcendental loving service are called eternally perfect. The technical name is Nitya Siddha. There are two classes of living entities, namely Nitya Siddha and Nitya Bhada. The distinction is that the Nitya Siddha are eternally Krishna conscious, without any forgetfulness, whereas the Nitya Bhadas are eternally conditioned souls, are forgetful of their relationship with Krishna. The position of the Nitya Siddhas is explained in the Padma Purana in connection with the narration of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Satyabhama Devi. The Lord tells Satyabhama, "My dear Satyabhama Devi, I have descended to this earthly planet by the request of Lord Brahma and other demigods. Those who are born into this family of Yadu are all my eternal associates. My dear wife, you should not consider that my associates are ever separated from me. They are my personal expansions, and as such, you must know that they are almost as powerful as I am. Because of their transcendental qualities, they are very, very dear to me, as I am very, very dear to them. Anyone who becomes accelerated by hearing of the pastimes of Lord Krishna when he was present on this earth with his associates is to be understood as Nitya Siddha, eternally perfect." Okay, so we spoke the other day about the two kinds of living entities, the Nitya Siddha and the Nitya Bhada. And the Nitya Siddhas, they're eternally perfect, they're eternally residing with the Lord in the eternal spiritual world. And the Nitya Bhadas are those souls who have come to this material world to try to rule over the material nature and enjoy the material nature independence, separated from the Lord, which of course is not possible, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, and everything is Krishna. We are in Krishna, and everything is Krishna, and everything is coming from Krishna, so it's not actually possible to be separated from Krishna. It's impossible. But Krishna, very out of his mercy, he creates this material world in which we can live in the illusion that we are separated from Krishna. And it's interesting, it's described that Krishna has different aspects of mercy, and the first aspect of mercy is that he creates the material world. the material world is an expression of Krishna's mercy.
You want this?
Please. And Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a mother who is cooking. And kitchen is a dangerous place. You can cut yourself, you can burn yourself. Just this morning I burned myself a little bit.
What?
I burned myself when I did puja this morning.
This morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah. Fire is always dangerous. So the child, always wants to imitate the mother, and the child wants also to cook, and the mother says, no, you cannot cook. You have to wait until you grow, and the child is crying. So the mother then just arranges a toy kitchen. And then the child, like, no, I don't have to, I can cook myself, and the child is with his plastic pan and plastic spoon, imitating the mother. This is the example Prabhupada gives, very nice example. So similarly, Krishna says, you want to be the supreme controller, you want to be the supreme enjoyer, you want to be independent, and the Lord. Sorry, that position is already
It's already busy. No job available.
There is only one controller and one enjoyer, and everyone else is subordinate. That's just how it is. But if you still want to try to be the enjoyer of the Lord, then you play in this material world. That's why the material world is a manifestation of Krishna's mercy. Then the second aspect of mercy is that after trying to enjoy and to rule over, we become frustrated and we become depressed. And that's also Krishna's mercy. Because sometimes people ask, why didn't God create a world that is perfect?
Yeah, not only that, I only believe in God if He is merciful and stops all these
Suffering.
this suffering. Then I believe in Him.
Yeah.
And what kind of God is that?
It's like completely not understanding
Yes,
the point.
yes.
Actually, that there is suffering is that's the Krishna's mercy.
Yeah.
Because why? Because then we realize maybe this is not my home. Maybe
This is not the right place.
It's not the right place. Something is wrong here. So, and then of course, another aspect of mercy, then Krishna reveals Shastra. Krishna comes himself as avatar. He speaks, he reveals Shastras, and he also sends acharyas. These are all different forms of Krishna's mercy. For those who are conditioned. And then by following the path which is given by the Lord, then they also can become perfect.
So how many kinds of mercy did you count?
5.
5.
Yeah, material
Okay.
world that we suffer. Then acharyas, as a Shastra, acharyas, and avatar.
And avatar.
Yeah.
There's one more.
That's sure there is more. There's
Yeah, but one more is
Holy
the
name.
Srimad Bhagavatam who appeared as this person.
That's Shastra.
This is, well, but this is coming up these days.
So.
Yes.
Yes, when we speak of Shastra, of course,
Yes,
the main,
yes.
most important
Especially
Shastra
now.
is the Srimad Bhagavatam.
So these days you have to
Yes.
help us to distribute this sense.
Srimad Bhagavatam. we should all, everyone should possess a set of Bhagavatam at home, and especially.
I have many. I possess many. I would like to get rid of them.
Yeah, so Bhadra Purnima on next Wednesday is a special full moon. On this day when we put the Bhagavatam on the golden throne. That means, and it's in there, it's very nicely done. We'll take a picture.
But it's not finished yet. If you want to take a picture, I have to finish it first.
And then, but it means, to honor and worship the Bhagavatam, you have that respect for the Bhagavatam, you honor the Bhagavatam, and then you also give it to someone else as a gift. And then one person is doing so, will go back to God on that day. I mean, not on that day.
And this is the personification of Krishna in this day and age.
Yeah.
Because Krishna is not appearing in his blue form, he is appearing in the shape of the Bhagavatam.
Literary incarnation. And of course, when we speak of avatar, there is Krishna personified. There is the Archa Vigra avatar,
Yes,
the Lord appears in the form, the Nama avatar, the Lord appears in the name.
Yeah.
So we can see Krishna is so merciful to the conditioned souls.
Yeah.
But then there is the other kind of living entities, which are the Nityasiddhas. They are never so stupid to separate from the Lord, they're always with the Lord, and that's why they're Nityasiddhas. And it's described here when the Lord comes to this material world, then it's interesting. Those who participate in his leelas, there's different categories. First of all, the Lord does not come alone, but he comes with his eternal associates, Nityasiddhas. It's like Prabhupada.
Entourage.
Entourage, Prabhupada says that when a king comes,
Yes.
the king doesn't come alone.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know whether you have experienced a king coming to your temple. I have not seen a king to my temple or to our temple in Zurich.
But I've known a king personally.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up
Ah.
in Moroccan country.
Ah.
At that time, Mohammed V, who was respected as a, how to say, a direct representative of God because he was so pious at that time. I was in that country at that time,
Nice,
and I knew him personally.
Personally, nice.
And his children, I went to school with his daughter.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you got some
yeah.
royal connection there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we in Zurich temple we did not have the king, but we had like rich people like the Birlas coming.
Ah.
And when they said Mr. Birla is coming,
You know.
then we knew it's not only Mr. Birla is coming.
Yes.
Mr. Birla is coming. His Mrs. Birla, like his wife is coming. His children are coming. There will be a chauffeur. You know, they will come in a limousine, like, and then there will be a secretary coming. And there will be bodyguards coming, like an entourage of 10 people coming. A huge limousine, everyone coming out.
Yes.
So if even an ordinary businessman has a whole entourage with him, so naturally the king, and what to speak of Krishna. So when Krishna comes in the material world, he's not coming alone, he comes with his eternal associates. He brings with him Srimati Radharani and of course all the other associates, and then also of course he manifests even his holy Dham. But then he also invites some of the demigods. Many demigods, they will also take birth. They are conditioned souls actually, but they are, you know, his direct devotees, and they are having an important position in the material world. They're assisting him, so they are also coming. And then sometimes also great rishis, great personalities who have done a lot tapasya, they are able to take birth in that same area to participate in the pastimes. And of course, there is also conditioned souls around who, by chance and good fortune, get a chance. But it's a whole, it's like, the example is given by the acharyas, it's like if you organize a festival, a big festival, and also here, if you organize a festival, then you have, you know, the GBC is personally present here, and then you have, you know, some national council members, you have some very dedicated members of the community, then you have some initiated devotees, some friends of Krishna.
Priests.
But then you also have some, you know, it's just a pious Hindu who just happened to walk in and didn't realize that
The guests also
guests
that are also.
and maybe a guest, someone just from the street brings someone. So you have all kind of people. So similarly, when the Lord comes, you have all kind of people, but you have this closer circle and then the wider, larger circle like that. But Krishna here describes, or it's described here by Rupa Goswami, that these Nityasiddhas, they are very, very dear to the Lord because, yeah, they are as dear as himself, and they are Krishna is dear to them.
Loyal to him 100%.
It's completely, and that's the Nityasiddhas. Yeah. Comments?
No, I forgot what I wanted to say. I wanted to say something, but anyway, it's not important.
Most probably. This is all about Nityasiddhas. Let's continue. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 32 of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this statement: how wonderful are the fortunate residents of Vrindavan, such as Nanda and other coward men. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Brahman, has actually become their intimate friend. So the good fortune is here mentioned of those who have a close relationship with Krishna. Similar statement is there in the 10th canto, 26th chapter, verse 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill. The coward man, under the protection of Lord Krishna, became struck with wonder and went to Nanda Maharaj and inquired from him, my dear Nanda Maharaj, how is it that we are so intensely attached to Krishna, and that Krishna is also so affectionately attached to us? Does it mean that he is a super soul of everyone? It's interesting how in Vrindavan there's this opulence that is also there. It's Madhurya Dham, it means there's a sweetness, which also means that the residents of Vrindavan see Krishna as their friend, as their son, and they don't actually see him as God like that.
They forgot about it.
Yeah, but there's always instances where they kind of get some idea, some clue, or sometimes they even get a clear indication. Like here we have Gordon, wait a minute, there's a small 7 years old boy, he lifts a hill with his left hand and even with a small finger for 7 days and 7 nights. How is that possible? I mean, who is he? Is he a demigod or is he the Supreme Lord himself? And here they say he has so much affection. He has affection, it means he must be the object of love, which is the Lord. Once there was a story, this is also one of the spirituality stories. Krishna and the cowboys, they were playing, and usually they have games and then one party loses and the other party wins.
I'm sorry, you speak very fast and not loud.
Okay, so the boys, they play games, and one side loses, one side wins, right? So it happened so that Krishna lost, and then he had to carry Sridham on his shoulder. But that day Krishna said, "No, I'm not carrying Sridham today. After all, I'm the Supreme Personality of God.
I don't have to do this.
I don't have to do this, like, wait a minute." And then the boys were like, "What is this, just
Who
because..."
do you think you are?
Yeah, just because your father has a couple of more cows than our father, none of us has 900,000 cows. Just because your father has a few more cows, you think you're something special. No, like, you lost, you have to carry. No, I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What are you talking? Okay, I will show you. Close your eyes. Then they closed their eyes, and then, okay, you can open now. They opened the eyes, and then they saw, all of a sudden, Lord Narayan, Krishna showed the performance of Lord Narayan lying on Ananta Shesha, and the Gandharvas were offering praise, and Lord Shiva and Brahma was there offering Jamaran and praise and songs, and they're like, wow, and I was like, wow. And then they again closed the house, they opened it, and Krishna said, and then they all said, wow. And then they said to Krishna, okay, today you don't have to carry, but tomorrow, if you don't carry, then we are not anymore your friends. So, for a moment, they may get an idea, but their love is so strong, Madhurya is so strong, that immediately
Forget
it again. And
because otherwise they could not have a relationship with him.
Right, that's the bath there. And it's a nice explanation I heard once that actually, we say that Vaikuntha is very opulent, it's all palaces and made of gold and everything, and then Vrindavan is just a simple village. So one could think that actually Vaikuntha is more opulent and Vrindavan is not as opulent. But actually Vrindavan is much, much more opulent than Vaikuntha. But because there is so much sweetness, it's not so much in the forefront. And the example is given if you take one glass and with water and you put 3 spoons of salt. How will it taste? Salty. But if you put 3 spoons of salt and then you put 10 or 15 spoons of sugar, how will it, and you could even put more salt, you put 5 spoons salt and then you put 10, 15 sugar, how will it taste? Sweet. Although there is more salt inside, because there is so much more sweet, and actually in fact many sweet drinks have a little salt to just give us taste. So similarly...
It's called umami.
Umami.
You know that? This is the ultimative taste. Umami. This is why we feel certain things. Umami it's called.
Yeah. Really
and this called, actually it is on the materialized, it is what the salt does to
the salt has this bringing
and
out
even
taste.
when you do something sweet, you put a pinch of salt to get this umami there. And chemically, when you dissolve this salt, natrium is coming out from this, and this natrium, this is this glutamate, Ajinomoto. I don't know if you know this. In the Chinese, you can buy in the shop a white package. It looks like salt, but this is the distilled salt. This is the umami out of the salt, and when you add this to your tea, it tastes. So this is called umami. This is the
okay.
essence of all tastes.
Yeah. Which brings out the taste of everything. Yeah. So that example is given.
And the word is interesting because Uma is the ultimate managerial authority.
Ah, yeah, Uma, yeah.
The umani of ISKCON.
What about Lord Shiva's consort? Yeah. So yeah, that this example is just given that the Vrindavan, although it seems to be simple, but actually it's has much more opulence than even Vaikuntha, in the sense of, like it says every grain of sand is actually jewel, touchstone, and every tree is a desire tree, Kalpavriksha, all of that. But still, devotees just see the sweetness because they have this loving relationship with Krishna.
And Prabhupada uses these two examples that you just gave, the Govardhan Hill and the difference between Vaikuntha opulence and the simplicity of Vrindavan. That in Hindus in general, they think Vishnu is the ultimate compared to Krishna, because Krishna is just a little boy who was playing in the dirt with flowers and running around, and this is just a boy. He cannot be God. So Vishnu is actually the ultimate God because he had all these opulences and all these things. And then also Prabhupada explained that if somebody pretends to be God, then he says, just show him. Try to hold this just for a second.
Prabhupada says, those who want to perform Ras Leela, imitate Krishna performing Ras Leela with many women, first before they do Ras Leela, they should lift Govardhan Hill.
Yeah, because they should prove that they are actually...
If you want to be the supreme enjoyer, then you first show that you're the supreme controller. Like that. Maybe we can read one. Oh, maybe we can finish it.
So the photographer is going to come any moment, I hope.
Okay. All of the residents of Vrindavan and Dwarka, namely the cowherd men and other members of the Yadu family, are eternally perfect devotees of the Lord. As the Lord descends by his causeless mercy upon this planet, so, in order to help in the pastimes of the Lord, these devotees also come here. They are not ordinary living entities or conditioned souls. They are ever liberated persons, associates of the personality of Godhead. And just as Lord Krishna behaves like an ordinary man when he descends to this planet, so the member of the Yadu dynasty and the residents of Vrindavan execute activities just like ordinary men. But they are not ordinary men. They are as liberated as Lord Krishna himself. In the Padma Purana, Uttarakhand section is stated just as Lord Ramachandra descends along with Lakshman, an expansion of Shankarshan, and Bharat, an expansion of Pradyumna, so the member of the Yadu dynasty and the cowherd men of Vrindavan also descend with Lord Krishna in order to join in the transcendental pastime of the Lord. When the Supreme Lord returns to his eternal abode, his associates return with him to their respective places. As such, these ever-liberated Vaishnavas are not bound by material laws of birth and death. Okay, so...
I think our photographer already...
Yeah, so maybe end here.
So I would suggest, if you don't mind, because these two devotees happen to have the opportunity to be around, that we take a picture with them also. We can